Okay.
How are you?
When I say whole street, what do we say?
Streets. Our streets. Our streets. Our streets.
Say feel the lane. No more pain.
Lane.
No more pain.
Lane.
No more pain.
Lane.
You know, everyone's coming here to stand up for the safety streets of Astoria. I want to thank everyone for being here. It's cold last night. We wish we didn't have to be here because it's very cold. Didn't know the question is upon us. I wish I was drinking hot chocolate, but here you have me. So here will be. As you all know, Astoria and this corridor is in the top 10% most dangerous streets in Queens. There's almost 200 accident crashes body because they're not accidents. They are preventable deaths. We want to stress that these are policy choices. Every single crash that happens in Astoria, every single crash that happens in the streets, every single crash that happens in 31st Street is one that could have been prevented. And it's one that has happened because a small group of people who are very loud have blocked it. Every single drop of blood, every single broken bones is on their heads. When I say who streets, what do we say? Who streets?
Our streets. Our streets.
I want to thank Bike and Brew for being here with us. For the very short turnaround, we move as quickly as we need to. And as you can see, this is a thing that everyone in Astoria supports because we put this together in 3 days and the people that we have over here. So please give a warm welcome to Stacey Elliott from Bike and Brew. Yeah, you hold it. I can hold it for you. What's up, everybody?
All right, go.
Right. A little too excited, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Put the horn here tonight.
Put it down. Okay.
Welcome everybody. My name is Stacey Elliott. I'm here as an organizer of New York City Bike and Brew, as a resident of Astoria, as a longtime Queens kid, and as a neighbor here tonight. I want to thank Transportation Alternatives, Ben, everyone who helped make this rally possible. Thank you, Councilmember Tiffany Salon, for coming out tonight. And showing up to really let us know you do support us, you do support the community being safe. To all of the advocates who came out here tonight, Families for Safe Streets, the Queensborough President's Office, Diana Moreno, and the Tri-State Transportation Campaign, 31st Avenue Open Street, which has been a big partner on this campaign, and Alex Duncan for your advocacy. Thank you. We also have invited many of the other local cycling groups who have shown up here tonight. Cycloholics, Ridgewood Rise, Brooklyn Cycling Fans, Social Cycling NYC, all shown up. We are all part of this community, and this all trickles out. And of course, I do want to thank the members of my own organization, New York City Bike and Brew, who really have busted themselves to make this happen. Bike and Brew is a volunteer-led group focused on bringing the cycling community together. So every Tuesday we ride as a group to meet each other and to build community and frankly move more safely through the face of dangers that come with riding in New York City. Because even with all the progress that we've made, the city still struggles with compromised infrastructure and aggressive motorists. We're here tonight because Friday's court ruling threatens all of that progress. Despite 31st Street being a Vision Zero priority and one of the top 10 most dangerous roads in Queens, a judge has ordered the city to rip out a half-installed protected bike lane.
Oh.
Streets? Oh, streets! The safety project proven to save lives. Let's be clear about why this happened. This ruling overstepped the judge's authority, ignored decades of legal precedent, and dismissed the DOT's long-established power to redesign streets. One individual judge decided she knew better, dismissing mountains of data showing that protected lanes reduce injuries for everyone, cyclists, drivers, and pedestrians. And this is why it should alarm everyone. If this ruling stands, Thank you.
I'm saying.
This ruling stands, any safety redesign in the city could be blocked, even after people have been injured or killed. This isn't just about 31st Street. This is why we're here. This threatens the very legal foundation of Vision Zero and every hard-won improvement that we fought for. Every elected official who represents this district supports the redesign. The data supports the redesign. The community supports the redesign. And the only thing standing in its way is a ruling that replaces evidence with personal opinion and puts lives at risks. So tonight we're sending a clear message. We deserve streets that protect us, not rulings that endangers us. We demand that DOT appeal this decision. We also demand that the incoming administration stand strong for human lives. He demands safety over politics, facts over fear, and human life over parking and motorist convenience. Deaths are failures in infrastructure, not accidents. Crashes are avoidable. Thank you all. Let's make sure our voices are heard and impossible to ignore. Humans first for 31st. Ben Furness from the Transportational Center, the executive director. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Stacey. It's an incredibly powerful thing to see all of us here together and fight for this. People of Astoria, people all over New York City deserve great, safe streets. The design on Astoria is one that we know will work. We know will save lives, which is why we're fighting so hard to get it done. You know, there's been a lot of talk about the fire department, oddly enough, and the fire department who allegedly a local firehouse was raising concerns about this design, but I actually have a statement from the former commissioner of FDNY that I'd like to read. This is from Laura Kavanaugh. The proposed stretch of 31st Street is among the most dangerous corridors in Queens and demands immediate change. Over the last 5 years, nearly 200 New Yorkers have been injured along the corridor and one has been killed. The FDNY's paramount responsibility is saving lives, and any street design decision must meet a strict standard of emergency access. But FDNY's life-saving mission is vast, and it includes scraping people off the street and cutting them out of cars. 9/11 calls that currently result in more than twice the rate of death and injury as those from fires. Using FDNY as a procedural obstruction not only misrepresents FDNY's life-saving mission, and this is directed to the judge now, this is me, it wrongly lays the blame for overdue critical safety upgrades at their feet. New Yorkers demand safe streets, and it is clear that DOT and FDNY work together in this case to provide them. I urge the city to appeal this ruling immediately. So you heard it here. People from across the ideological spectrum, people from all walks of life, professionals who know how to keep people safe, demand that we get this done. We demand that the city appeal this decision and that we bring safer streets to streets all over New York City. I'd also like to now introduce a great champion on these issues, Councilmember Tiffany Caban. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Should I hang on to this one? Okay. I am Councilmember Tiffany Kalan, Councilmember of this district right here, District 22, and was one of the proud authors, along with our teams, of the Western Queens Street Safety Plan. And this plan, we developed it in partnership with Senator Mike Gennaro, Assemblywoman Jessica Gonzalez Rojas, Senator Kristen Gonzalez, and the incoming mayor, Assembly member and soon to be mayor Zorhan Mamdani. Now, we did this because each one of our offices, the calls that we were getting overwhelmingly were about street safety. It is the number one constituent call that we get consistently since the day I've taken office. And this corridor, the 31st Street corridor, was a really, really important part of that plan. And we can start and end the press conference by just saying this. If it saves lives, it's worth doing. If it saves lives, it's worth doing. And all of the data, the evidence bears out this fact. A redesign would take 31st Street, a corridor that has seen over 200 injuries over the past 5 years, and make it much, much safer for pedestrians, for children, for strollers, for bikes, and for cars and drivers. Everybody would be more safe. I also want to go to the judge's decision on this. And now I'm going to put my council member hat aside and put on my lawyer hat. I am a former trial attorney. Okay. I am used to taking the fight into court and challenging judges. And let me tell you something, appeals are an important part of our legal system and judicial process because guess what? Judges get it wrong. And they get it wrong more often than you might think. But in this case, just reading the decision, you can see just how wrong, just how flawed the rationale that was used by this judge was. So I'm going to echo the calls of my constituents, my neighbors who are demanding safety in their streets and call for an appeal of this decision immediately. We have to fight for our safety. Again, I'm going to put it very simply. If it saves lives, it's worth doing. It's as simple as that, and we are not going to stop fighting until we get that done. So thank you all for continuing to show up for yourselves and your neighbors.
Okay, well, welcome now to Assembly District candidate Diana Moreno. Welcome, people. Pause.
Hey folks, man, I'm really fired up. I have to say, I became a mom last year, and it's been a tough year to be a mom for the first time. And you know, sometimes whenever you see the federal government attacking your child's right to access preventative health, it's because the federal government has decided that they're not going to listen to science-based evidence, that they're going to fly in the face of actual data and what's good for people. You think that maybe the city and state will have your back. And it's decisions like this that remind me that no, actually, advocates and neighbors and communities must continue to always fight to make sure that the most vulnerable are protected. And I want to make sure that I can raise my child, my 15-month-old toddler who just started to walk, who would be very, very wobbly trying to cross the street, to be able to become a healthy adult in this beautiful neighborhood that I chose to call home because it is a beautiful multiracial working class neighborhood of Astoria. In this beautiful neighborhood, we have people like those who surround me that care about safety, that are committed to open streets, that are committed to public open spaces where people can walk around and bike around safely. But I have to say, since I became pregnant, I stopped biking because I became pregnant, and it has been really scary to get back on my bike. It has been really scary to get back on my bike because now I think about not just my safety, I think about my child. And it is scary to bike around our streets, especially 31st Street. 31st Street is a place that a lot of bikers avoid at all costs. And I have to say, this decision really, really flies in the face of data-driven solutions that advocates like those here have fought for. But guess what? I also know that the people here will continue to fight until we get safe streets, especially on 31st Street. I love human first in 31st Street. That's what we're going to continue to fight for because our kids deserve safe streets, kids over cars. Let's go. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give a warm welcome of applause for Families for Safe Street member Julie Huntington.
Hi, everyone. Hold up. Is it okay if I see my notes? My name is Julie Huntington, and I'm a member of Families for Safe Streets, a club that I wish that no one was ever eligible to join. We are a group of volunteer victim advocates who have lost a loved one to traffic violence, who have suffered a crash, or who are caring for loved ones with life-altering post-crash injuries. I am here because my dad, forever 65, was senselessly killed by a reckless truck driver in 2019. I bear the pain of his loss every day. I love him and I miss him so much. I stand beside members of my Families for Safe Streets family who have also lost loved ones. Martha and Mario, whose son Mario, forever 14, was killed while riding his bicycle not far from here. We stand here united in our grief to speak up, to advocate for life-saving traffic safety measures in the hope that no more families will suffer as we have. There are already too many of us. I'd like to take a moment to thank Councilmember Caban, our candidates for elected positions who stand here beside us and who dedicate their lives to making our neighborhood a safer and more equitable place for everyone who lives here. So thank you very much. We know that safer street design improves traffic safety for all road users, cyclists, pedestrians, and motorists. Data from traffic studies show us that protected bike lanes not only protect cyclists and pedestrians, but they also protect motorists from serious injuries and even death. I will admit that I am a lifelong bike commuter, and my dad was always worried about me cycling in the city. He had reason to. I was hit by a car on 31st Street almost 10 years ago. I was hit by a car by a southbound motorist making a right turn from 31st Street onto 31st Avenue. I was riding out in front of her and she clipped my back wheel as she turned into me, sending me flying in one direction and my shoes in another direction. Luckily for me, the car was a small passenger sedan and the driver had slowed down to make the turn. Sorry. If it had been a bigger, heavier vehicle, or if the driver had been moving even just a little bit faster, the outcome could have been very different, and I might not be standing here in front of you today. Yes, my dad had reason to worry. Nonetheless, neither of us ever imagined that he would be the one who would be senselessly and violently killed one day by a reckless truck driver as he drove in his sturdy Sprinter van en route to meet a friend for coffee. I learned that day that we cannot rely on drivers to exercise caution and care. Drivers make mistakes. They speed, they get distracted. They're so often caught up in trying to get from point A to point B that they neglect to pay attention during the journey itself. Because we cannot rely on drivers to protect pedestrians, cyclists, and even each other from serious injury and tragic deaths, we need safer street design. To the opponents of this data-driven, life-saving traffic safety improvement, to the people who are celebrating the blockage and dismantling of this project, the blood will be on your hands, not if, but when someone is injured or killed on 31st Street, one of the most dangerous and deadly corridors in our borough. So thank you everybody for your time.
Give a welcome to John Sturco, part of the 31st Open Street Collective.
Thanks, everyone. Is that better? Yeah. I'm gonna make this short because it's really cold and I can't feel my hands. So I think what always struck us at the 31st Ave Open Street Collective is that, when this backlash came to this project, we never really understood it because just around the corner is a traffic calmed, incredible corridor that is amazing for all road users. It's amazing for business. It's amazing for cyclists. It's amazing for pedestrians. It's amazing for drivers. And it never really struck us, kind of confused us why we have this amazing example right around the corner with the 31st Ave Open Street, where we have an avenue that's been redesigned this year. And we have seen cycling go up. We've seen it be a much safer environment. Businesses are doing great. I recently heard from one business owner on the open street that during open street days, she sees up to 50% more sales, which is amazing. A vacant corner on 35th Street and 31st Ave was finally reopened with the business who decided to go there because of the open street. And when we had the community board meeting, I went there and my testimony was really about avoiding 31st Street and how sad I am because I don't go to the businesses on the street because it's such an awful experience as a pedestrian. I think every historian knows that. So when we kind of saw this opposition, we worked with folks like Miser, we worked with TA, we worked with Bike and Brew to start a petition. in response to their petition, which has about almost 4,000 signatures as of this evening. That petition was not included in the court ruling or in the court hearing. None of the data about 31st Ave, which is just around the corner from 31st Street in very Queens fashion, it's the exact same number. Um, and we're pretty baffled by that because we have tons of research that shows that just around the corner this stuff works. And as folks who are on the ground doing this advocacy, getting those petition signatures, and as someone who has helped lead a public space that heard all the same complaints from business owners 5 years ago, that it would hurt deliveries, it would hurt emergency response times, it would hurt businesses, and then over 5 years that has not happened. If anything, business has improved. We get ambulances through a lot quicker than if it was a street with cars. You know, None of this stuff has really, the sky has not fallen, all those things. We just, we stand in complete opposition to this ruling, and we really can't wait for it to be appealed. It needs to be appealed because we show it's possible just around the corner, and it can happen at 31st Street. The one last thing I'll just mention is that there is one part of this block that has been painted, and it's been sitting there for 6 months, and the sky has not fallen. Actually, it's been great for this one strip. And it boggles my mind to me that we have the evidence right in front of us, and we're decided to rule against it unfairly. So, thanks for having me today, and we look forward to the city making its decision.
Give a warm welcome to Corey Hennigan from Tri-State Transportation Campaign.
Yeah, once I mentioned,
It's working? Okay. Yeah. All right, good evening, everyone. I wish we were out here on better circumstances. I'm Corey Hannigan. I'm Active Transportation Program Manager for Tri-State Transportation Campaign, which is a 30-year-old regional transportation advocacy organization. We're a steering committee member for New York Safe Streets Coalition and the New York City Greenways Coalition. But really tonight, I'm just here as a local resident who wants to stay alive. I'm also very cold right now, like the rest of you. But more importantly, I'm tired. I'm tired of firefighters concern trolling about access when bike lanes are already made extra wide specifically for emergency vehicles to be able to use. I'm tired of schools opposing safety infrastructure that their own students would benefit from using. I'm tired of restaurant owners screaming about parking in neighborhoods where nearly all of their customers arrive on foot, bike, or transit. And I'm tired of someone dying in a crash on our city streets every 2 days. But most of all, I'm tired and frustrated at the deck that seems to be stacked against doing anything meaningful to address traffic violence in our city. We keep having to have this same fight over and over again. DOT's data has shown since 2014 that protected bike lanes significantly reduce injury crashes of all kinds. The Federal Highway Safety Administration even supports this, even under Trump, designating protected bike lanes as a federal proven safety countermeasure. The DOT has built 623 miles of protected bike lanes in the city and has prevailed in every single legal challenge over 18 years until today. And it just goes to show, no matter how many studies show exactly the same thing, that this is basic safety infrastructure that has been proven to reduce injury crashes and save lives, there will always be an ignorant and politically powerful minority who claim, I support bike lanes, but not the way this one was done. Or, oh, well, this street is special and unique. This street is special. It has one of the highest concentrations of serious injury crashes in the city, which is why it was identified as a Vision Zero priority corridor. It's always easy to say you need to do more outreach or you need to study this more. But at what point do we say DOT has been building parking protected bike lanes for over 18 years? Parking protected bike lanes are old enough to vote. At a certain point, when can we finally say this is standard infrastructure? This has been proven to save lives. We know this works. When do we stop treating them like coal plants and subjecting them to endless environmental review when every delay affects real lives? There have been over 460 serious injuries and 3 deaths on this corridor in the last 10 years. Since the temporary restraining order was issued 6 months ago, there have already been 11 more serious injuries. Now this decision is going to appeal. The number is going to grow as the progress continues. My heart goes out to the future victims of this utter insanity, but those responsible for the delay will face no consequences. It's just how our system works. Motorists can continue to delay,
and people on foot or bike can continue to die. But it doesn't have to be this way. Many of the recent projects in Astoria, like the 31st Ave Bike Boulevard, came out of community-driven campaigns for full neighborhood-wide campaigns, neighborhood-wide networks of safe infrastructure, like the Western Queens Safety Plan that the councilwoman mentioned earlier. In fact, Transportation Alternatives just launched a similar plan, Protected Ride Sunnyside Woodside, which we will ride a portion of later tonight because it extends safe routes across these unsafe barriers that divide us, connecting to 31st Street. That's what this is about. Safe, continuous, connected corridors that are safe for everyone. So if you want to stop playing defense and ramp up the fight back against the bike lash, help us show even broader support for these plans by adding your name and sharing with friends and family. This community knows how to show up for each other, even in freezing weather, because this really is all connected. If this unfounded ruling isn't overturned in the appellate court, it'll have terrible implications for the city's ability to control its own streets. Would we need a multi-year environmental impact study for every single safety project in a city of 8 million? Who's going to be the one to tell the future grieving families, sorry your child was run over, we needed to make sure the infrastructure that could have saved his life didn't make too many people mad? Let's listen to the experts. Let's listen to the families, the victims and their families like Julie. Let's build the safety projects. Let's make New York a city that's safe for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Last but not least, let's give a warm welcome to Alex Duncan.
Weird to hear my full name used here.
I turned it off. Sorry. Weird to hear my full name used. It's usually Miser if you're familiar with that, unfortunately. So I wanted to start about talking about the animus that animates a lot of this. And I'm going to answer John Sirico's question, which I know was rhetorical, about why they oppose this when there's a clear example on 31st Street. And he mentioned that it's increased the number of bikers. And that's why. That's it. They don't want to see bikers. They don't want to see us. And they don't want to be safe. They don't care if we're safe, which is a very weird thing if you think about it, right? Like, it's a very weird thing for people in this city to tell the people that live here that they don't care about our safety because they don't want to see bikes. It's even weirder in this example because, as I'm sure everybody knows, the actual project is about pedestrians. It's under the subway where everybody in this neighborhood that lives in all these buildings walks every day to go to their jobs, and their kids walk. So they're not only against us, they've basically used their hatred for us and bikes, the culture war, to fight against the people of this neighborhood, right? Which should infuriate everybody, of course. So basically, I just want to, I know it's cold and we all want to get riding, but I really do want to stress how weird it is that 5 MAGA-aligned people now can sue and stop any project they want in a place they don't live, because none of those guys actually live here. Right. We're the people that live here. Right. So we've got a bunch of suburbanites coming and telling us what we're going to do with our streets. Right. How the fuck does that work? Anyway, with this incoming administration, this sets a terrible precedent because we're going to have suburbanites coming out of the woodwork for every little project. I don't know if we're going to be able to build a fire hydrant in this after this. So anyway, I'm going to end with this. It's the same 5 words that I think Zoran had for Cuomo, and it's the same words that I have for these. Go back to the suburbs. Anyway.
More streets.
More streets.
No more deaths, you say? Fix this mess. No more deaths. No more deaths. No more deaths. All right, people, I'm gonna hand this over one last time for Stacey Elliott.
All right, who's ready to ride bikes? Let's go. So we are going to lead a bike ride through Astoria. We are going to prioritize that 31st Street corridor, going around different arteries, and taking it nice and easy to let everyone know that we're here, that we're riding, and that we're not going anywhere. And then so we are going to be doing a short demonstration, a short action at 31st and 31st. And for those of you who will be participating in it, this is completely optional, but we'll be doing a short die-in where we will be reading the names of the people who have been killed in traffic fatalities along this corridor in the last couple of years. So take up as much room as you can, spread out your bikes, and we will be having volunteers on site to make sure everyone is staying safe. Other than that, I think we are ready to go. So let's get on your bikes and ride.
All right, there you have it, folks. We had our little rally here with lots of speakers, including some local elected officials. And now it's time for the group ride part. Nice slow rides tonight. It's nice and cold here in New York. If you are watching from somewhere warmer, please tell me about it.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday! I think you saw me this weekend.
Oh yeah. What's up, dude? Hey, wait, you stole my birthday.
Stole my friend.
I definitely did.
How do you like it?
Yeah, sweet. Oh, I love it. It's so smooth. Yes. It's lighter. It's there. Like if you fit like crazy big tires. I got like exact bar. But it's cool.
Right against them.
Who we got right now? Where are you from?
And I didn't see that break because like
We got cowbells. I hear cowbells. Okay, apologies in advance, viewers. I have to spin you around for a second because I'm gonna take you off this tripod. Try not to make people dizzy here. Oh, I think I can just spin the tripod itself. There we go. All right, now you're actually gonna spin around though. Hey,
Yo, little Phil, congrats.
what up? Congrats, what I do?
Still in the place. I'm
Oh.
pumped.
Me too.
I literally am there all the time.
Yeah, I know it. I feel like you're gonna have to stop by a lot.
Yeah, it's so sick. We had that pickles and pies is a great deli there that we always bring to the beach.
Oh, sick. Okay, good to know.
That's a good. You're not that far from like Rockaway Roaster.
The coffee shop. Yeah.
And there's a bike shop over there too. Like and they actually can pick you up if like on the boardwalk to get a flat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I met the guy I was chatting about. So yeah, no, it's gonna be cool.
Look, I'm pumped, dude. Pumped.
It's so cool. It is special. I gotta get this hook up like yeah, I know it's good. I think it's like it's like as long as it's weird, we're talking like oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Cool. It used to be 4660, but they've never been so I call it like it's like so much easier. Yeah. This is from this is my lawyer. Right back to the A. Dude, oh look at this. I love this so much. I can't hold that. Yeah, that's a. You can use seat stolen. I think you know. Like if we said you're gonna get How do you like this?
I mean, it's a beast. I feel like I'm about to go pick up the kids from Montessori, you know? Hell yeah, dude.
Just like I went to do.
I'm on the e-bike tonight, the beast. Sorry, I'm streaming. Say hi, Nelson.
Hi, Nelson.
Uh,
What you got when did you move in?
Feb 1.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
Really, Australian execution.
We're sweeping tonight. So we're in the back of the ride. Nice and chill. Hey, reason I brought the big e-bike was to have a nice wide base in the back here. Oh, let me turn this light.
Good job. You're not right. Our ladder.
Lights going.
That's not considered an emergency like right now. You know, it's like it doesn't yeah, it doesn't change it. This thing is anyway. It only makes it better. And they're like, we're gonna stick with it.
Hello.
You're going to get that big boy up the ramp.
I could take it up the steps.
How are you going to do it?
Just hit the throttle. No. Yeah. Sweet.
What's the sweet?
We have like 5 sweets. We rolling deep tonight. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Stay ahead of the red vest.
Tell me something. That's all I did that. Why did you finish third? Bro, the most defensive thing.
Let's go, y'all. Move ahead of the red vest, please. Move ahead of the red vest. Let's go. Let's go. Close that gap. People in the red vest at the end of the ride. Try to stay ahead of them, please. We keep you safe that way. Thank you. Winston, how are you? Good. Dude, it's such a tank. But good for sweeping, you know? Like, try to get around me. Thank you.
Sweets are almost there.
Is that the radio or Zello? Oh, nice. Cara. Not totally sure our size tonight. I'd say we're probably like in the 50 to 70 number. It's not bad considering how cold out it is. It is a brisk week here in New York. So if you missed the beginning of the stream and didn't know about what's happening here, 31st Street in Astoria was in the process of being completely reimagined with a protected bike lane to keep people safe. And a judge this week decided that we can't do that. And so they told them they have to reverse the work that's already been done. So we are staging a protest ride up and down 31st Street tonight to show people that we're here and our safety will not be compromised for some motorist convenience. Pothole! Oh, I forgot I have a whistle. We gotta make noise. Right turn! So this part of Astoria is 31st Avenue, different from 31st Street. And you can see here we have this super wide bi-directional bike lane. Bike up! That they completed last year, and it is one of the nicest places to bike in all of the city. It's fantastic.
Right turn!
Right turn! Woo, woo. Damn, that's cold. Right turn! Left turn! Sweet, sweet. Right turn. We're gonna switch to handheld here because it's just it's too shaky on the bike mount. Bajo. Turn. Protesting 31st Street. Yeah, bro.
Like my fun change channel?
We got some agros. All right. Woo, it's cold. It's cold, man. On a hot toddy. Slowing. So this is the street that is has the proposed redesign that's been stopped by a judge. The plan was to have a bike lane at the curb, a parking lane for protection, 2 travel lanes. You'll notice that doesn't take away either parking lane on the other side or the travel lanes on the other side. It actually make these lanes a little bit more narrow, which serves as a traffic calming as well, because this road is not designed like it's a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit with wide lanes like this. People are going much faster, which makes it much more dangerous. Sweet. Got a left turn coming up. Oh, thank you, Sarah. I do deserve a hot toddy. Oh, watch the ambulance! Watch the ambulance! Move through! Move through! Make way! Make way! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Thank you, Jack. Jack, a gentleman, a scholar right here. How's the wolf pack? All right, yeah. Jack's fellow ACC here. We got a lot of ACC in the back here with the sweeps. Got Katie up there repping Georgia Tech.
We're always repping them.
Always repping. I mean, you know. You know.
That's what I was born with. So warming up, though. Warming up.
Oh, I'm not. I'm cold as something that would get me demonetized on YouTube if I say it. So, sweeps. Thank you. Love you too. Can't feel my fingers. Can't feel my toes. This is the problem with the e-bike. You don't sweat enough. You don't get, your body temperature doesn't get going up high enough. And you just freeze it. Yo.
What were you telling Justin from the start?
Justin was always anti-radio. It's true. Sweep.
All right, lights change.
Is the area?
31 and 31. What are we on now? I don't think so. Yeah, 35. So not quite yet. Oh. Ooh, that's a cold breeze. Cold breeze. Some guy in a window just said, "Damn, okay." So we are getting noticed tonight. That was the idea, you know. Oh, I like that hand mount. I need that. Sweet.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, he probably.
Katie, what's the best part about being a sweep?
Getting to make all the noise you want.
Yeah.
And sometimes karaokeing at people. At one time, I told people that if they didn't want to listen to my singing, they should ride faster.
It's good motivation right there.
You know,
What's your Celine Dion pick?
it's all coming back right.
So-
I'll stop till one is
Okay, so check it out. This is the road that we want to get redone. We have literal steel pillars holding up the elevated train here that would serve as protection. I mean, it's like the perfect spot for a protected bike lane. They would have cars parked here in these spots in between the pillars, bikes where these cars are parked now. So they're just like moving the parked cars over a little bit. And then we got steel and concrete, all that protecting us. But no, we can't have nice things because a couple businesses are upset about parking. So they're going to take that away. It's crazy. Feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
All right. Weak. Weak. Oh yeah, so this is the part that's already been done here. So look, bike lane, they haven't painted the bike lane yet, but bike lane, parks cars, travel lane.
Offers coming up.
What's the problem?
Move in.
You got two-way traffic still. You got parking on both sides still. They just made the roads slightly narrower. And we're preventing double parking from happening, which actually blocks emergency vehicles. Pick it up, close this gap. I don't like that gap. Let's go. Let's go. Oh god, what did I hit? What is this like? Tell me to play a game now? Ah!
Away.